Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. This is NeoBurgh, and today we're going to be working on the Southwold and Hailsham public transport lines. So these will be working their way through the cities, picking up passengers and taking them back to the train stations. So without further ado, let's crack on. Last time we put in this station here, we didn't quite finish it off. We didn't put in the public transport network into Southwold. So what we're going to need to do is really finish up this particular station. What we potentially could do is put in a tram line from there into Hailsham. However, I'd rather have Hailsham have its own public transport section, so we won't be doing that in this particular episode. So I'm going to start by adding some larger buildings just so that it's a bit future-proofed, and I think the large one looks a bit silly for Southwold, considering it's quite a small city. So we'll go with some of the smaller ones and just create this tapered look with some of the larger buildings in the middle and some of the smaller ones on the outside. So the next thing that we need to do is put in our electric tram stop, and because this one's relatively out in the sticks, I'm literally just going to pop it straight in front of it on this occasion. I think that should do really quite well for this particular stop. So we're going to put in an exit on the other side. It's electrified tram tracks, which is good, and what I think we might do is utilize this road that's coming out here, but also have a separate junction into this main road over here as well. So if we grab our roads, and I won't put them in as tram lines just yet. So we create a junction out. I don't want it to have traffic lights because that will slow people down here. That's not what we intend to do with this particular section. So if we put a road in there, what we can do is have this come down to this particular stop, or this particular road, sorry, and we can then also do a road up from here. Something like this. So that's connected there. We've got some additional space for potentially just connecting up a road. So if we give that a try, I don't know whether this is going to fit in. No, not quite. That doesn't quite seem to be at the right level, but it's okay. No, I don't quite like that, so we won't do that. So if we're going to be building a route round Southwold, we need to look at a possible route. We could go around the outside, or what we could do is come down sort of relatively a straight line like this. So I quite like the idea of that. Let's do that. So I'll do 2 stops, one there and one there, and then that should cover the upper area and the lower area near the river. And then if we do another couple further along, then hopefully that will effectively separate up the city into 4 quadrants. We just need to make sure these are covered. So it doesn't look like these central ones are actually covered, which makes things a little bit trickier. So we'll put a stop there, and we're going to move this one over to here. This one here, if we move it on this outer road, then that means we can create a sort of turnaround here, which should work quite well. So we'll have them come in, go through this way, and then go around the city as a whole. Hopefully that should cover all of the areas that Southwold could possibly grow into, and that should really future-proof it going forward. So the first thing that we need to do to get trams on is to upgrade the roads through to tram lines. I might just come down this way actually, because then it keeps it off this main road. So then we'll come across at the river. We'll actually go down this way. And then that actually provides a really nice point for them to come back and create the loop. So hopefully what we can do is if we put in our tram building, and it just makes sense for it to be up here out of the way in my eyes. So that's what we're going to do. I'll put it next to this mine, like so. And we'll get a couple of the calf herbos. So we actually haven't created a line yet. So let's just create a line going around. So hopefully that will follow the tram line once we put the trams on that particular line. And then we'll do one going back as well. There we go. So we've got brown and pink. We'll need to name these. So that one's line 1, that one's line 2. So those can start going round and bringing people up to the train station from there. So that's all sorted now. Southwold has its station and has its tram station connected. Let's just name them. So which one's which? This one is counterclockwise. So that's good to know. Let's just call this private transport, public transport road. This is for Southwold. I think that's the naming conventions that we're using, isn't it? We just need to add are we actually using these? No, we are actually calling them what they are. And they're actually the circulars. It looks like we've done a few different variations on the same sort of naming convention. That's fine. What we'll do is we'll just keep this one as is, and we will call this one number as well, just in case we do go through them, but I don't know whether we will at this point. To be honest with you, numbering them doesn't really make sense unless you have multiple of the same sort of thing in the same city. So what colour are we going to go for with these lines? I don't think brown and pink really work well together, but the pink looks quite interesting. What we could do is maybe like purple and pink. So then if we go into the lines, we've got a darker purple and a pink that signify those lines. That's good. Okay, so that's the tram line all in for Southwold. So that's happy days. That's all sorted. Now, I think what we should really start to look at is building in a train line for Hailsham. So as we look around Hailsham, it's a little bit of a tricky one because it's got the residential zone up here towards where we would ideally place the train station, or at least where I was earmarking it, going up here. So in this upper area. But what we can do is build it over this way. So that should then allow us to build in a train station here and take it from there. Let's just check the contour lines. Actually, that really suits the contour lines. Look at that. They go along that route quite well. So if we did one here, we can plug into the dual lane down here, and then that should be really good. So what I might just do is just prep the land a little bit. So if we go into this mode, we've got a little bit where it's sticking out. So if we just sort of smooth this area, that should just get things back into line. Hopefully we can sort of nudge it towards becoming more of a sort of simple level hill here. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put in a train station here for Hailsham. Yeah, it's Hailsham. I had to just double check. So we're going to put one in this way. And what it'll probably do is follow the hills or the mountains that we've got here. But we do have a number of other tunnels in those hills, so we just need to be wary of that. If we were to just put this in as is, how does this look? Right, so it's colliding there. It's also colliding here. And it looks like it might be colliding there as well. There, here, and here. Okay, so colliding in a number of different areas. So it's going to be a bit of a tricky one getting this one in. So if we lower it, that actually really does a trick and allows it to go through into a tunnel before it gets to this road. It looks like it's going underneath these other tunnels, which is good. And then it's coming up just over here. Let's just push it up as much as we can, just so that the tunnels move a little bit further back, hopefully. They may not do. That's about as far as we can take it before it becomes an issue for these. You see it's gone to colliding. So if we put that in, what we can actually do is delete this one back. And then I think about there going into a tunnel is a bit more realistic. So if we do that, it's actually already identified that I want to do that. I was just going to change it to from tunnel to open air, but it's already worked out, that one, so that's good. But what we need to do is follow this particular line as closely as possible. Now it's saying there's too much slope. Why is it trying to go up there? That's a little bit strange. Let's try it from the other direction. So if we go into a tunnel here, that creates a dual entrance tunnel. Yeah, it's right here that it's causing an issue. So maybe if we bring these as close together as we can, then we can almost trick it into doing what we want it to do here. There we go. It's funny how it does what you want it to do. Oh, hang on. No, that hasn't really done what we wanted it to. I spoke too soon with that one. I don't understand why it's trying to go into a tunnel there. Trying to go into the other tunnel, I should say. Let's put this a little bit further back. I want to make sure that this isn't going into a tunnel there. So I'm going to lower it a little bit further down, ever so slightly, but it should make all the difference, hopefully, when it connects up. No, it's still having issues there. I don't really understand why. The one next to it is fine. Let's try, it might be that this end of the tunnel is a little bit lower. What we'll do is we'll take this tunnel back again. If we can just select it, there we go. And we will build from the other side, because that seems to be the problem area. Lower this until it goes through without interacting with that other tunnel. I think that's where we want it to be. It's a bit hard to tell, but it looks like it's going underneath it. So if we then put that one in there... Oh no, now that one's having issues. This is very bizarre. We'll get there though. This tunnel is going in, as far as I'm concerned. So let's lower it down a bit more. There we go, and then that should be completely underneath it, as it should have been to begin with. I don't understand why it wasn't colliding initially, and then it was when I tried to put it in again. But anyway, that part of that leg of the line is now in. So if we put in our stops along this part of the track, so similar to the other station, we're going to put in buildings. And actually, I just want to double check the sizes of these. So Hailsham's only 209, whereas Southwold's 409. And actually, that's going to be growing now that we've put that link in, because the public transport connections are going to go through the roof. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So with that, we put in this nice 3 medium and then 3 either side smaller for the smaller of the for the larger of the 2 cities. So I figure we might as well do something a little bit smaller for the smaller of the 2 cities. So let's put those in, and what I'll do also is do a nice couple of steps down on either side, and then that should more than suffice as a sort of main atrium for the city. And we've also got some sort of drop-off zones along the outside, so we will utilize those. What I'm going to do on this side is put in our electric tram track. If we can do it so that it goes in this way, then we can build into this lot, build out from here. So let's just not put the tram tracks in until we know where they're going. Let's try and keep that flat. What we'll do is a nice curved road into this one. Ah, no, it won't actually allow us to. Maybe if we put that one in there, then we can... No, I don't quite like that. There we go, putting it in the other way seems to work. When in doubt, take it out, put it back in again. So let's just remove this exit, and then what we can do is like a little road here in, and then if we put that back on again, when in doubt, take it out, put it back in again, and it should go in fine. What we can do is do a connection here, So if we just do that there, and then a connection like this. And why don't we connect this through? And then from here, if we keep this at the same height, we can then come out at a relatively straight angle there and go into this particular road. So that should provide really decent links to the train station, and we can actually see that part of the city is making use of that already. We do have to be wary about the residential zone, but I'm hoping that that will build out towards this particular hill and this curve of the road here. So we need to think about where the tram lines would go. Now, we already have a drop-off zone for cargo here, so that's probably not the best place for a transport link. But if we put one in the corner, then that should cover anything that builds out this way. And then if we go along this road, and maybe come up here, this could also be quite a good spot. Hopefully there's a decent amount of overlap there. It looks like there is. So that should then basically allow us to cover whatever is on the river down here, or near the river I should say, on this particular route. So if we go up, maybe we can do one here more centrally, and then we'll do one. The roads have split in very awkward positions. We'll do one there, just to provide better coverage, and then I think one here should do the trick. However, I don't want this part of the main route to be used for the tram tracks. So what I may well do is do a road out this way. I mean, there's two options. We can either come up this way, or we can go out that way. I think coming out this way is probably the best. So then we can connect back in here. Let's make sure that these roads are upgraded, just to help the city grow a little bit more. I don't know whether the density of the roads, because these are small streets to begin with, and then they go to medium streets. I don't know whether it actually makes that much difference, but I'd like to think it does. I don't know why they wouldn't put some sort of relevance to it in. It's probably just the speed limit, but anyway, it means that the speed limits are higher. So we need to put in the tram tracks along these this route. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up and then back out. So that way we're coming at the connection here at the right orientation. The road has split while we've been speaking, and this one's actually broken apart, which is a little bit annoying. Let's see whether we can put it back in, maybe in a bit more of a... I like to put them up against the junction they're going into, so then there's all this road to effectively have stuff queue up, and then when they go, it shouldn't be affecting this other junction. That's my thinking with it, at least. So I would say that we're pretty much ready for a new connection here. So if we just go into our buildings, let's just let's prepare the tram station, the depot. We can put that here, just opposite the entrance. And then we just need to put in the lines. So if we put in one going through this direction, and then another going the opposite direction, this should orientate correctly once we put the trams on, because there won't be another way for them to go round, because they would have to come through this way. Either that or they'll turn around in midway through the road. So let's just put these on. So we've got another brown and a blue. So we might actually just go with blue, to be honest with you. So if we do like a darker blue and a lighter blue, that should look quite nice, I think. There we go. Maybe it's a little bit too much, that lighter blue. Maybe if we do a more pastel-y. Yeah, that seems to match it a bit better. So if we just grab the naming conventions from this other one that we just did. And then what we need to do is work out which one's which way round. So this one's counterclockwise. And it is Hailsham. So I've just copied and I'll paste these in. So then while that's there, we'll copy it. And for the other line, we can copy and paste it and then just remove that C. C's and W stands for clockwise and counterclockwise. So we've noticed that these aren't actually orientated the right way around. So we'll just swap them around. And then hopefully that should sort it out. Let's make sure that all the other ones are orientated the right way. It looks like they are. So that means that we've got a line going around Hailsham now. We don't actually have a line through to Hailsham just yet on the train station, but it's all ready to go. So I think I'm going to leave that one there. It's been a nice simple episode today, and we've managed to get Hailsham and Southwold all connected up. So that should be really good. We can see that Southwold's already pretty busy. People really want to get out of it. They all want to go out to the train station, probably to get to other destinations. So I'm really eager to see how well this helps the city grow. And we may well need to think about, if I click on the right thing, putting on some more trains for these lines. It really depends how busy they get. We should have a good inkling on the finances. So what I might actually do here, I realise that we've just put these trams on, but I'm going to go ahead and put another couple on there. And actually, I'm going to colour these the line colours, because we haven't done that for a little while. Let's do the same with this one. So that way, any more trams that we put on, we will then have those inherit those colours. I think it's that colour, that one. Either way, it looks fairly similar. And we should be able to tell, here we go, this one is the lighter of the two lines. And this one is the darker of the two lines, just by looking at them. So I don't do it for every single tram line, or even lines. You can do it with the trucks as well. It can be quite useful, especially to begin with, to be able to identify, that truck is for this particular line, just early on. Especially where you want to try and save a little bit of money and not have trucks just waiting around. So if you come across them here and you say, oh, that one's just waiting around, it's most likely that it needs to be potentially looked at going forward. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go through some of these areas, and I want to try and just improve the way they look a little bit. So I'm gonna grab my trusty friend, the sloping smooth tool even, and let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a try. I don't typically do any detailing in my videos, and I figured I might as well give it a try for a couple of episodes and see how it goes, because quite frankly, NeoBurgh deserves it. It's been a long time in the making, so let's give this a try. So I just want to improve the geography of the area, and just try to give ourselves a nice canvas to work on. So I'm going through with the smooth tool to do that. And what I'm really looking for is these harsh areas where the hills are just not quite lining up quite correctly. You can tell from the different coloured textures where those would be. Typically where the game puts in roads, it may carve an area out, like here where we've got the actual buildings, you can see they've carved out here, or it may also put some additional land in, as you may see here from the step up to the bridge. So let's just try and neaten these out a little bit more. Some of these areas are really desperate for it, so hopefully even just a little bit of TLC will really help them out. This tool really is a godsend, because quite frankly it's very tricky to get these right without a tool like this that just fixes 99% of the problems. Especially when it comes to sloping terrain, it can be a real difficulty to get just right without the right tools. Okay, I'm fairly happy with the terrain deformation. It's going to be as good as it's going to probably get it at the moment. And then the city's going to grow and it's going to build into things, and we're going to have roads going everywhere. So it will change it with time, but for now that's going to be fine. What I might just do is try and plant some trees. So we'll use mixed trees, and we'll use a relatively larger brush, but with a light hand here, so reducing the strength tool down. I'm going to use that. I don't know what the slope threshold is. Maybe disabled. I'm guessing it's whether it puts things on slopes, but I may be wrong there. Paint steep sides. No. Cool. Okay. Randomize rotation. Yes. Wow, there is a lot more controls here than I anticipated. So these are all the different trees that we'll be putting in. Skip collisions. Skip collisions, no. Skip collisions, yes. I'm guessing this could be one of two things. It could be either be that if a tree collides with a house, it will skip that and not put the tree there, or it could effectively allow sort of like anarchy and allow you to put a tree into the house. I don't really know, so I'm just going to leave it by its default. We're going to put the slope threshold at 0.3. I have no idea what that really does, so I'm hoping that it will be fine. And we're just going to plant some trees around the area. So we've got a nice forest here already. We might as well try and grow that out to this area and make the most of what we've got here, trying to make it look a little bit nicer than normal. Ah, yes, that's a perfect place for a tree. Well, I'm just guessing here, but we might have found the answer to skip collision. So if that basically allows anarchy. We can't actually turn it. We can't take these away. So skip collision, no, is basically it will try and do it around them, but it doesn't look to be doing a very good job. So let me go through and just remove these trees where they shouldn't be. It's actually really tricky to do this without demolishing the train station. It's almost a bit of a shame, considering how much granularity you have with the placing tool. You don't have more granularity with the bulldoze tool. So being able to filter through, I just want to demolish trees or something like that. We might place some around these areas, but we are going to have to remove some of the ones that have just built up in. It might be quite a nice little thing to sort of do a faux planter if you really wanted to place a tree in a train station. Then that could look pretty cool. I mean, they've got these sort of bins modelled, so maybe you can put one just in there to effectively look like a planter, and then have them in your actual train station. That would look pretty nice, I think. Anyway, let's crack on. Ah, they've got the erase tool. It's a shame I didn't see that till now. Let's go ahead and put some trees around this area. I'm just going to place them to the sides of the tracks and around here, just so that it looks a little bit more like the forest is sort of thinning out around this area, because you can see it's quite thick forest and then it just turns into nothing. So I just want it to sort of place down around these areas. And it almost looks like here where the road's coming through, they've actually taken the trees away for that specific section. We've also got rocks, so we could place rocks. So let's try that on the sides here. It's not actually placing. I can't put them on the side here. Maybe it's something to do with slope threshold. If we turn that way up, there we go. Slope threshold is whether it allows them on the slope or not. So I'm just going to try putting a few trees in myself. And then we can put in a few bushes as well. It's not very easy because it doesn't actually place where you put it. I'm guessing if we put the strength way up, it will. There we go. So there's a mixed trees, but there isn't a mixed bushes. There's a mixed rocks. You've got a lot of different things. Asset builder. There's a lot into this. I don't even know. Let's put some of these on here. In fact, what is that? Field decoration. Yeah, maybe not. I can't place anything up there. Oh, hang on. No, it's... Put those in. There we go. That actually looks really nice. I quite like that little entrance into the tunnel there. And I think they would probably put something on these sides to try and give them a bit more strength. So that's something quite nice. Now that I know about it, let's use the eraser just to get rid of them in these specific areas. And again, we can put a few rocks. I wonder whether we can do... Do we have like concrete? We've got coal and corn, but no concrete. What else could it be called? Like path? No, maybe asphalt? No. Road? No. Oh goodness, I don't know what it would be. Basically, I want to extend this look out a bit. I mean, I think we might be able to do that with... no. I was thinking of the the harbours where you can put in some extra spaces. Gravel maybe. So let's just bring this down. Oh, use the paint tool to change the terrain in the free game. Bob Ross. Yeah, that's me. Bob plays games. There we go. It just makes it more of like a walkable area then. I quite like it. Cool. Over here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty much the limit of my my skills when it comes to detailing over there. Let's do a similar thing over here. So what I might do is just do gravel along here. It's a shame about that grass. I wonder whether we can sort of remove it. No. We've got snow, tile, hexagon, gravel. Let's just keep it with gravel. It's a shame that the grass is coming up through it. I don't know what tool that would be to remove them. It's definitely not the bulldoze tool. We got some path connecting in. That looks alright. Oh, asphalt. Here we go. Oh, that's more like it. Let's just turn up the strength to remove some of these. Bits of grass that just aren't going away. There we go. I don't know about this area over here specifically, but we can go through with the tool and then hopefully that will do the trick. Right, let's go and do the same over here. Right, asphalt 1. I must have just been mistyping it. Probably misspelling it. I don't really write asphalt that often. And then let's raise that there as well, just so that it's in line with things a little bit more. Make sure over here is relatively similar. There we go. Ah, I like it. It's looking good. So let's just put some rocks on this side as well. Just put some more trees in. I reckon they would put trees in to limit erosion or reduce it. So that looks quite nice. I quite like that. That's nice. That's a nice boulder. I like what you did with the place. Cool. Yeah, so what we might do over here is just bring through a little bit more of the trees over here. And then also over here, just cover up those hills a little bit more. Even if it's not quite as strong as it's been, because on the outside of on the outskirts, I should say, of the forest, it absolutely makes sense to me to only have a limited amount of trees. I don't think it would just have such a well manicured line of trees, if I'm honest. But yeah, that looks a bit nicer. Or at least I think it does. Let me know what you think with your comments. There may be other little tips and tricks that you can help provide me with and help me to just improve the look of these areas. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there. So I wanted to do something a little bit different for the showcase of what we've got this time. So we start here before at Hailsham. I'm going to show you the sort of before and after of the two shots. So as you can see, this is where we started in Hailsham, and we're moving our way over to Southwold now. So this just showcases the real difference that we've had between the two areas. As you can see there, we've got a lot of terrain which is quite badly deformed. It's got a lot of cliffs and what have you. And then this is the station that we started with. So in just a second, we will transition into how it looks afterwards. And there we go. So this is the Southwold tram station and the train station through. So we've created a nice sort of forest around. We've got some nice boulders around the tunnels there as well, just to make it look quite nice. And you may be able to see, although it may be quite tricky from here, the tram lines, as you can see there on the left, sort of going through Southwold, and now we're moving over to Hailsham. As you can see, we have really extended out the forests a little bit so that hopefully it looks a little bit nicer and it's less like it just ends with a well manicured line. And here we've got the tram line for Hailsham and the train station. So here we are. Here is the finished product. So we have beautified it a little bit with more trees in the area, and also expanding out the forests. I believe that forests wouldn't just stop in such a manicured line, so it's quite nice to let them explore what is available around here. So we have, of course, done our two lines, the Southwold and the Hailsham line, here and here, and then obviously the opposite ones. And we've also created our first train station in Hailsham. So this goes through this area and out down here, down to Southwold, and that will go on in future. In another episode, I'll be discussing that. But for now, I think I'm going to leave this one here. I'm really happy with the results, but let me know what you think. The best way to do that is probably with your thumbs. If your thumbs simply don't cut it, then why don't you go ahead and let me know in a comment? I always welcome feedback, and quite frankly, I value getting more and more every day. So if you don't want to give me feedback and you just want to let me know something in the particular episode, then that's also great. Other than that, if you enjoyed this episode and want to catch more, subscribe. It's the best way to catch the content as it comes out. But anyway, have a great day. Bye.